If you think it's expensive to hire a professional, wait until you hire an amateur. And I'm quoting Red Adair there. What's going on, YouTube? Thanks so much for tuning into another video. In this video, I'm going to cover specifically how talent acquisition professionals, recruiters, recruiting agency, anyone who's in the recruiting space, aka finding people to fill jobs, well, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to share a couple of ways on how you can use video to amplify your recruiting efforts and secure high quality candidates. So stick around. You know, I actually started in the recruiting business. Believe it or not, my first business was actually a recruiting company. I actually started off headhunting SDRs for SaaS companies. Now, I only did it for a little bit of time before I realized that the media space and video production is the space that I really want to double down on. But recruiting is hard. It takes a lot of time, money, and resources to find people and match them for jobs that not only do they feel is a good fit for them, but it's a good fit for the company and vice versa. And so being in the recruiting space for, a little bit of time showed me that recruiting is such a necessary function in any business, but it's the hardest, right? You have to sell a candidate on why your company is an ideal company for them, and vice versa. You have to sell the employee. You have to really find employees that are going to align with the job duties, the job responsibilities, and want to stick around for more than 6 months to a year, right? We actually want employees that are going to stick around for long periods of time. Otherwise, it's not good for the employee, it's not good for the company, and vice versa. So let's get into it here. Video is a powerful tool that will allow your recruiting team to filter candidates, empower prospective candidates, and also lean on your employer brand. So the first tip here, employee testimonials, and lots of them. Employee testimonials are super key, not only because you're actually getting the employees to speak on behalf of the organization, and they tend to have a really good way of speaking about the organization, speaking about the hiring process, speaking about the role that they are in specifically, and you need to let those people speak on behalf of the company. Obviously, a recruiter or someone in talent acquisition can say, all the greatest things about the company, but the bottom line is you want the people that are actually in the role themselves to speak on behalf of the company, because they can speak to the roles, they know a lot about the company, and it's going to be a better pitch having your employees speak on behalf of the role in the company as opposed to the recruiting team, because that's what most companies do. At this point, you might want to just do a basic interview setup where you have a camera setup just like how you have here. You have some good lighting, you have a couple of video angles, right? And you're just going to probe them with questions around their journey from candidate to employee, some of the amazing perks that they really value about working at that organization, and of course, the common applicant FAQs. What are some reoccurring, commonly asked questions that this role gets, and how can that employee answer them? This is also a really good opportunity to interview and get hiring managers to speak on camera. These are the future managers for that employee. Get them to share what their expectations are for the role, what they plan to do in the role in the first 30, 60, 90 days. I think the biggest challenge in recruiting is that there are often a lot of things left unsaid, that aren't really mentioned up front. And this can cause challenges down the line where employees feel like this isn't what they signed up for, and therefore they leave the company. Therefore, your recruiting team has to spend more resources trying to backfill that role. So now is a really good time to just be upfront about the role. Have hiring managers speak about what it takes to succeed in the role, what they expect from the role. The more transparent you can be at this level, the better, because you're leaving all your cards out there and the right applicant will follow through and continue to seek the role through. Storytelling is essential. This is your creative strategy. This is your creative differential. This is a chance for you as a company to really distinguish what your employer brand is and lean on it. Tell stories about why your company was founded in the first place, what the impact of the company? What's the goal of the company? Like, how can you turn it into a story that's going to entice someone to want to learn more and apply and follow through with the hiring process? Entry to executive. Show what it takes to succeed. I think this is tremendously important, especially for entry-level roles with high churn. As an example, let's say you're trying to fill an entry-level sales role. Sales roles are commonly known for having high churn, which means a lot of people quit the job, a lot of people get fired, and so you're constantly having to really pitch the value of this entry-level role to someone who may not be super experienced, maybe applying or considering from a different industry. And so if you can actually have employees who are once in that role, let's say they are now the CMO, but they once started as an entry-level employee, they once started as an entry-level sales employee, this is a really good opportunity to, again, just interview those employees, have them speak about how they started in the company, what led them to have such tremendous growth and upwards mobility starting from that entry-level role. I think one of the biggest challenges when it comes to recruiting entry-level roles is a lot of people feel that it's a dead-end job, that they're not going to get anywhere, that there's no upward mobility. And I think you really need to combat those initial objections by showing proof that the executives of your company, that the VP of sales, that the CRO, that the CMO, whatever the case may be, they once started off on that entry-level role. And so that gets potential applicants excited about, hey, this is an entry-level role. I know this is not where I want to be in the next 3 to 5 years, but hey, here's a perfect example of someone who's been at the company for 5 years. They're now the chief revenue officer, and they once were an SDR. Food for thought. Entry to executive, show what it takes. And lastly, this is more of a social media strategy here, but I think it's really important for organizations to create unique social media profiles for recruitment. So you may have seen maybe Coca-Cola Careers, right? You go Coca-Cola Careers on Instagram, they have a solely dedicated social media page that's responsible solely for employer brand content. In the business setting, we're constantly talking about branding, marketing, right? Like, how do I get customers? How do I tell a story to get money, right? And although that's important, that keeps your business alive, I think the importance of building your employer brand is equally as important, because you're investing in the same strategy, you're investing in storytelling, but solely for recruitment purposes. So again, I highly consider any business out there that, if you haven't already, create a TikTok account, create an Instagram account, create something that's branded solely for careers. This will serve as a resource if you want to share it in certain emails that are, targeted or include prospective candidates, right? If I'm applying for a job, I want to go to a page where I can see a bunch of testimonials, I can see a bunch of resources, I can see a bunch of insight, content, you name it, that's dedicated to pitching me why your organization is worth me applying to, even considering and following through. We have to start treating recruitment the same as a business/sales pipeline. We have to really sell the role, we have to pitch the role, and we have to create resources that are going to get people excited and capture that awareness. I hope this video provided some value for you on the recruitment side. I think recruitment marketing is actually a very fun space to be, because the objective is to get people jobs, to get people hired, to help the company grow. There's a lot of good things that come from recruitment marketing initiatives. And I think in today's world where most companies are remote, most companies are now shifting to be more flexible and appeal to a candidate, appeal to what's hip, what's popular now, and remote work is going to be around for a while. And so this is now creating a lot more competition in the recruiting space. There's more options for candidates. So it's important for you to prioritize recruitment marketing, your employer brand, because there are a lot of options out there for any candidate, large or small, experienced or not. And so video can be a really good avenue for you to set yourself apart. Again, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. Also, if you already have some ideas, if you're in talent acquisition, if you're in recruitment and you already have some ideas and want to work with a production agency to really flush those ideas out and execute upon those, would love to hear from you. You can absolutely email me, DM me on any social media platform, and we can go ahead and schedule a creative call. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.